Okay, so what I'm going to be doing today is fixing a leak where this lead flashing abuts against the wall. They've used this particular lead detail on these flat tiles, which is actually incorrect. There's also a gutter going along there, draining down, and water is running down here right next to the flashing. So what's happening in heavy rain, if I just lift this flashing up, you can see the water's coming down. It's raining a little bit now, but it's not that heavy, so it hasn't gone under, so that's still dry. But in very heavy rain, water's going to come under between the tile and the lead, and it's going to get to the wall, and it's coming in, and that's where it's leaking. So it needs a secret gutter, which is this which I have here, GRP trim. So we're going to be fitting that today. So the first thing to do is get removing some of these tiles. And where you have cuts against the wall, like this one's been cut and there's some smaller cuts, always best to keep those on the row it came from, so you're not putting together a jigsaw puzzle when you come to put it back together again. So you can see here I've removed a few tiles, and you can see where water coming in is getting onto here. There is a couple of watermarks on the felt. It's coming in, there's nothing stopping it going right inside, and they're getting leaks inside here. Okay, so I'm going to strip the rest of this out and then show you about the secret gutter. Okay, I've exposed most of the row of tiles I'm going to put the secret gutter on. So now basically what we're going to need to do is to cut some of these, the ends of these battens off, because the secret gutter, this is what the secret gutter is. It's a GRP trim. This piece here is the gutter where the water will drain down, all the way down into the gutter here. And this upstand, the upstand goes against the wall, and we need to cut the batten. This part here is going to sit on top of the batten, and this bit we need to cut, this length we need to cut out of the battens so it will fit in nicely. I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to show you what that looks like. Okay, here we go. So I've cut out the ends of the the battens, as you can see, and that's going to allow a space for the secret gutter to slot in there and come down into the gutter down here. I've used a multi-tool to do that, which is quite easy to do. You can use a saw, might be a bit more awkward, but I found a multi-tool much more easier. Okay, I'm going to fit the secret gutter and then show you that. I've decided to do it in a couple of sections on this particular job, just to sort of make it easier for myself, but also because it's raining I want to get this bit covered up, and then I'm going to do the top. But I'll put the secret gutter in here, and then I'll show you what that looks like. Okay, here is the secret gutter in place. After cutting the battens out, it comes down into the gutter. Obviously it's got to go in the gutter, so all the water coming down that secret gutter, which you won't be able to see. It's called secret because obviously you're not going to be able to see it once all the tiles are fitted over, and it comes down into the main rainwater gutter on the property, and will find its way down there to the downpipe instead of going inside. Okay, so I'm going to retile over this area and then take the tiles off at the top there and just finish that section. So I've fitted the first secret gutter. You can see up here I've added the second one that goes up a bit further up to the top. I cut those battens out. These tiles are all fitted. Because as some of them are a bit smaller, the cuts towards the wall, I've had to put some lead straps, which is fixed to the batten above and comes down to hold that piece on The larger cuts don't need that, but sometimes you do have to knock off these nibs at the back. You just get a hammer and knock it so that it doesn't kick up too much on that side. But once you basically fitted them all like this, you just fit the lead back down. You can see the end of the secret gutter coming out the bottom there. I'll stick a little bit of flashing on the side there as well to keep that watertight. And that's basically it. That's going to resolve this leak problem. Okay, I'll finish the top. So I'd show you the lead strap I'm having to use. Like on these smaller cuts like this, I'm having to add a lead strap which is fixed on the batten above, and then this bottom section here just basically straps around the bottom. Now obviously that's because I can't nail into too near this way because it's going to potentially cause a leak. So it's going to vary depending on what kind of tiles you're using. If you're starting a detail like this originally, when fitting the roof, it's best to fit a full tile this side and a half tile. It's going to work better, but in this case they've done little thin strips against the wall. I'm having to fit this detail just to hold it in place and, you know, keep it watertight. Okay, so that's all the secret gutter in, job done. Basically looks pretty much the same as what I did before I even started the work, but now it's covered underneath as covered in this video. At the top there I also added a little piece of flashing directing the water away from the wall, which before was, I realised when I got to the top, was actually fitted towards the wall. I guess they were trying to direct it away from the Velux, but really that's not necessary. The Velux flashing is sufficiently protecting that, but it was directing water towards the wall, so that was probably part of the issue, to be fair. So I've switched that flashing around. That job was completed, went pretty well. Apologies for the end of the last section of the video there, it cut off a little bit too soon. The GoPro played up a little bit. So I am going to be posting some more roofing videos. I do intend to, on different, you know, perhaps guttering, fixing a leak, things like that. If you'd like to see any particular video on any aspect of roofing, maybe drop a comment, I'll give it a go. Like, subscribe if you want to see more. Thank you.